Welcome to Transforming Teaching and Learning, a story that explores how colleges and instructors, lecturers are teaching and how students are learning. To a very large extent, the coronavirus pandemic is affecting teaching and learning among students and faculty members of higher educational institutions. There has been a paradigm shift from our traditional face-to-face teaching and learning to embracing e-learning platforms, which comes in different shapes and colors. Common observation shows that a significant number of both the teacher and the students have inadequate knowledge of the use of these e-learning platforms they are entreated to adopt. The new reality is that COVID-19 is increasingly dominating not just our collective head spaces, but also what our jobs are day to day. Also, the teaching and learning of engineering courses is relatively challenging due to the nature of the courses that are perceived as difficult courses by a number of students. Thus, to know and to explore the problems faced by polytechnic engineering faculties and students, we talked with few faculty members of CCCT Polytechnic College, Chisopani, South Sikkim, which also aimed at identifying the teachers' and students' attitude towards problems faced during online teachings. So, here we had a conversation with Mr. Deepak Rasaili, HOD ENC Department of CCCT Polytechnic College.
Online education system, or we can say online learning. Especially developed nations like India, or we can say the state like us, has a prominent hurdles, the major one being lack of reliable internet service, rather we can say. The internet service provider are so rude to this part of the world. Actually, the online education has become just fantasy for us. Thus, we can say, being in India, where yet optical fiber with our Wi-Fi with a reliable internet source is not being provided to cities, villages, mountain, valleys. Unless all this reliable internet is not reached, then we cannot have online teaching and learning mainstream education system. Now, there is another issue on this online education is lack of smartphone or laptop or desktop PCs among all the students or major stakeholders in the education. Even in developed nations like US, there are 25% of students doesn't have this tools like smartphone or desktop or PCs. So how we can imagine that all the 100% student or the major stakeholders will have this kind of facility. So this is also one of the major issue. Now the third issue is we were not planned for this online education system suddenly. It came at an emergency. So we are not trained actually. Neither students are trained nor the teachers are trained. So with the new app, a new online tool, the new software which we are not familiar with it, and within 24 hours if we want to learn all this thing, this will become stressful for us. So this has created a lot of barrier or a gap between the teacher and the learner. So these are the challenges actually we are facing in the online education system. It has really helped. The teachers are doing wonderful job taking classes through online application like Zoom, Google Meet and any other softwares. And this has really helped the society and even the student for imparting the knowledge at doorstep. The online education system has many advantages, and maybe in future this type of education will play 80% role in the education system. Now when we talk about the CCCT even, initially we had enrollment or participation of around 5 to 6 students in Zoom classes. Now we have 81% to 90% student participating in the classes, in Zoom classes and other online application. And another major we found is that when we did the initial survey, there were 49% of students were not having a reliable internet source. But now somehow they managed and the interest was created among them. Our teachers, our faculty from the CCCT are doing wonderful job and they are teaching wonderfully, and all tests, even we have conducted all the internal tests through Google Classroom. So we cannot say that this online education is totally 100% not effective. It is doing wonderful job, but only the problem is the age group of the student and the reliable internet source, which is a major hurdle for this type of education. Now, let's talk about all this social networking and social media. If you ask me, now slowly, especially during this lockdown period, we know that WhatsApp is one of the social networking site. The WhatsApp has a major platform, the prominent platform to send the assignment and send the question answers, send the topics, send the videos. So this has played major role. Since many, starting from class 5 to college going student, knows how to use it. Even the parents are very familiar, knows how to use all this social networking platforms, especially WhatsApp, and this has really helped. So now we can say this has created some advantage because we parents and everybody around the nation, we had a big issue whether the social networking sites and social media is creating or distracting our student or our youngsters, or they are going in different direction due to these sites. Now during the lockdown time, it has played major role. So although there is a difference between these two totally, the online education is face-to-face conferencing, computer conferencing, where the teacher delivers and the student listens and they interact to each other. It is not like making friends and sharing other unwanted thing in the class. It's a virtual classroom actually. Whereas in social networking, we do different thing. We don't have to. I don't have to elaborate that part. So now we can say this social networking site is playing major role, and during this, particularly for the education, it has helped a lot. And also we have selected few user-friendly apps like Zoom is very attractive. Google Meet is unlimited, you don't have to subscribe. These have created a lot of interest now. The students are joining, and initially if we only talk about CCCT, we had problems, and the students were not so interested, and they were finding difficult to use all those applications. Now we have made a tutorial for particular app, how to go, how to install, and how to use it, and how to utilize different features available in the app. Now slowly they have grabbed everything, and they are using 2 to 3 apps very nicely. And this is the advantage, and we can go in the same way for all other education.
Hi everyone, my name is Samil Amichane. I am a senior lecturer and course in charge of Mechanical Department, CCCT Polytechnic College. Before I talk about the pros and cons of the online teaching during this pandemic situation, let me tell you what is teaching process. A teaching process is an arrangement of an environment within which a student can interact and study how to learn. It brings overall development in students' mind, body and soul. Because of that only, I believe that online teaching can never replace the conventional method of classroom teaching. During this time, we have faced many problems. Let me tell you that engineering course is such that 60% of the syllabus is based on theoretical subject and 40% of the syllabus is based on practical subject. In all practical subject, students need to attend in the lab. They need to work with the machines and equipments, and they have to come up with the result, which is not quite possible staying back at home. Student could not afford to buy smartphone, data package, and even network problem was there. This was the another problem that we see, and student could not have that education friendly environment in the home also, and even they are quite familiar with the classroom environment which they could not get it at home. And when we talk about the teachers now, we were untrained. This situation was very uncertain. We were said that you are supposed to take the class online from today onwards. We were shocked at that time because we were never trained in that way. Whatever we did, it is all in our own practice. However, we are in a learning phase and we are evolving in this new way of teaching. Let me tell you that in the beginning, when we were told that you are supposed to take the classes online, we were confused. So many questions were there, how we are supposed to do it. And with that all confusion, we started our class. But today, if I look back, many things have changed. In the beginning, there used to be 20 to 30% of attendance in the online classes. Now, there is 80% of attendance. And our students are quite serious. They are working very sincerely and dedicatedly. However, still 20 to 25% of the students could not manage to attend the class because of all the reasons I have already told you. Now the question arises is, how from 20% to 30%, right from lockdown 1.0 to lockdown 4.0, how this drastical change in the graph? And the answer is very simple. We are developing habit. Yes, we need to develop a habit. For a new method of teaching, we need to develop habit. And I'm very happy to say that CCCT is developing a habit. During this time, another problem that our student was facing was most of the teachers were taking their online classes and sending the study material. They were sending it on their own convenient time. And at that time, students could not understand. They used to get confused which class they are supposed to attend and which not. We can imagine what chaos was developed in the student. And this was happening because we didn't have the system. We need to develop a system. Students should know when they are supposed to give, when they are supposed to submit their assignment, when they are supposed to give their sessional test, when they are going to have their exams, what is the pattern of marks distribution, what will be the internal marks distribution, what will be the external marks distribution. All these things are there. And for that, we need to develop a system. And I'm very happy and proud to say that CCCT have developed that system. We have timetable now. All teachers knows when they are supposed to take the classes and when not. And even student knows when to attend. And even now, we are quite aware that when our exams are going to come and how we are supposed to conduct that. This is very important and this is something I have learned from this past experience. Let me tell you that world will not be the same. World is changing and we have to prepare for that. Maybe after this COVID-19 pandemic will be over, things will not be the same. There may be the situation where we have to shift our mode of education from conventional classroom teaching to online teaching. Yes, it may come again. We cannot say that tomorrow when schools and colleges will be open, things will be normal. No, anything can happen in future and we have to learn from this experience. So for that, I strongly recommend that now it's time we need to make tab compulsory in schools as well as the colleges. Yes, I am saying again in schools also it's required because I can see working in mobile phone, it's very stressful and also limited. It's very limited. So working in tab may help them physically and mentally. And along with that, I also like to recommend, let us have an apps where we can put our study material so that we can even put our news as well as we can put all the updates which is required for the students. It will also help in future. And I again strongly recommend that it is a time that when we take a classes, when things will be normal, when we take the classes inside the classroom, it should be videographed. And when the class will be over, we can put into our server. So when students could not manage to attend that class, they can go online and check that video and understand the topic. It is quite possible, and I believe it should be there. So many suggestions are there, so many problems that we face, I have already told you. So at the end, I'd like to tell you, stay safe, stay at home, and let us fight with this situation, and whatever possibility is there from teacher side, we'll do it, and student also, please be sincere and let us work together. Thank you.
I am Manvadal Kami, student of Center for Computer and Communication Technology, Chisapani, South Sikkim. First of all, I want to say thank you, my institution CCCT, as we all know that government has declared that classes will be suspended for the instruction. By a syllabus lacking behind, but due to our teacher, we can study at home to virtual classes, which is really benefit for us. In this time, we are facing many problems like poor connection of network, power supply, etc. But we are still smoothly running our classes with the help of our teacher and parents. Till then, stay home, stay safe, and stay positive. Thank you.
Hello everybody, myself Chiring Lamo, the student of CCCT. Today I have come up with this video sharing my experience about the online classes. Firstly, I'm very much thankful towards my college and my teachers, as they have taken very good initiative by providing us another platform of learning, that is through online education. And the current situation of lockdown, online education has turned out to be the substitute for our traditional way of learning. Though the online education has been proven very much advantageous for the student, we are facing problems at the same times. For the online education, we need to have a proper equipment with the high-speed internet connection, which is not possible for all of us, as our places has very poor internet connection. We also face electricity problems at times. At the beginning of the online classes, we found it little difficult as we were not used to it, but thanks to our teachers and parents who could help us out of the situation. So we need to appreciate the efforts taken by them. The COVID-19 would surely end one day, so just let's come together and fight against this virus. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe.
This is all we have in this episode of Sikkim This Week. I'm Manisha, and keep following our Facebook page, Government of Sikkim.